I am Team DC. When DC creates a film that is more Marvel than a lot of Marvel, and I really like it, I feel like a bit of a traitor. I am, of course, talking about Shazam. And I love dark DC. I love Batman, I love Suicide Squad, and I don't really care that much for Marvel. Ant-Man is great, they have some fun films, but for me I'm always Team DC. So when I like a film that is done by DC that feels like it's more Marvel, it's a bit odd. Shazam, I felt more Marvel than it did DC. But it was really thoroughly enjoyable, and I did hear a lot of good things about it before I saw it. I thought, I'll give it a go, I'll see what it's like. I thoroughly loved it. So Shazam, our original Captain Marvel, long story, if you don't know the history behind this, definitely Google it, is about a boy called Billy who discovers that he has some magical powers. He can say Shazam and turn himself into a fully grown adult superhero with a lot of strength. And I'd say 70% of the film is a bit of an origin story. It's him learning to use these powers and coming to terms with it and telling his foster brother and them two discovering it together in a mini adventure. It's very fun, it's very colourful, it's very bright, it's funny, and there's always something going on. The visuals are very crisp. 70% of it is very relaxing. And then we get to the last bit, and no spoilers, absolutely no spoilers, but I will say maybe the last half hour it flips. It becomes very dark. Not DC dark, but dark enough. And the other foster children all come along, and we have a lot of action. It's hard to describe it without ruining any of the story, but it becomes very action-packed, very intense. Special effects are incredible. It's still a little bit funny in parts, but suddenly the tone shifts and it stops being light-hearted and fun and starts being quite intense and captivating. And we have that shift, and it works, and it doesn't feel forced. And for that, I think it's incredible. So this is actually directed by David S. Sandberg, who did Annabelle Creation and Lights Out. And we have some amazing cast members, but particularly, of course, Zachary Levi as Shazam himself, and Asher Angel as Billy. And the important thing here is that it felt like Billy, as a kid, was also the same person as Shazam the adult. And I think both actors emulated one another's qualities really well. If that hadn't worked, it would have felt false. They wouldn't have felt like the same characters. But personally, for me, I thought they did it very well. So who is this film for? Well, it's for fans of superheroes. It's for fans of DC. It's for fans of Marvel as well. And I often feel that if you are hardcore DC, a lot of Marvel is just not suitable. And if you're hardcore Marvel, DC might seem quite dark and threatening if you're not used to the other universe. But with this one, I feel like you can be a hardcore fan of either and still absolutely love this film. I feel like it's the superhero film that plays to both audiences. I'm really impressed with the narrative, with the acting, with the visuals. Shazam was brilliant.